So this is take two. Yesterday, if there's one consistent thing yesterday was every time I went to walk Cujo, I went to walk him while it was not raining, and then 5 minutes into the walk, a storm literally appeared above my head and it started raining. Like four times yesterday that happened. Today, I started making this video, and then out of the blue, I've gone hours without anybody messaging me, but I get several messages that I have to reply to, and so yeah, I had to stop. Um, I am wearing this Hawkeye shirt because in 1991 I was a grad student at the University of Iowa. I became friends with one of the men's basketball players. I got to know the team. I was a fan going back to whenever they started broadcasting the games on the TV. So 1977, 78. I was very young, and I've been a huge Hawkeye basketball fan all along. Um, but in 1991, as I got to know Greg Tubbs, I bought season tickets, student season tickets to the game, which I then passed down to my friend Tammy after I left Iowa. So then those season tickets continued on. And so pretty much up until the Steve Alford era, when he ruined Iowa basketball for me, that's when I quit having tickets and pretty much gave up on Iowa basketball since then. So I'm so excited about the new coach. It makes me feel like finally Iowa basketball that I love is back. Yay! Go Hawks. Okay. I kind of say that because you're going to see in a video I'm going to share now that I was wearing the same shirt yesterday that I'm wearing today. Late last night, I washed all of my Hawkeye clothes because I plan on being a proud Hawkeye no matter what for the next couple of days. I'm a proud Hawkeye. So I'm going to do something I've never done before, which is I'm going to do a share. Come on. See, you have to be better at sharing than this. Sorry. Share screen. And not actually having talks with this man. How do I set this back? I've never done this before, so just cut me some slack. I'll be clear. This is a rant. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, Charles de Gaulle, definitely not somebody who was necessarily friendly to the United States, said to Secretary of State Dean Acheson, when Acheson offered to show him photos showing proof that Cuba was getting missiles from Russia, Charles de Gaulle said to Acheson, "The president's word is enough for me. I do not need any more proof." The markets, the financial markets, are hedging their bets when it comes to the word of our current president. They're not sure whether or not Donald Trump is even remotely truthful. So that's why the stock market made a retreat on Monday when it was clear that Trump's saying everything is over. But then the Iranian leader said, we're not actually having talks with this man. I'll be clear. I actually trust whoever is speaking on behalf of Iran more than I do the president of my country. That's how fucked up this world is right now. During the Cuban Missile. Okay. So that I just wanted to share my rant from yesterday because it actually dovetails into what is my topic for today. And my topic for today is the watch what they do, not what they say edition of my show. Before Trump made on Monday morning, before the markets opened even, Trump made the announcement that basically said, "Oh, I'm ordering everything to do at least a 5 day pause. Everything is wonderful, blah, blah, blah." And so, not surprisingly, the price of crude oil fell. The futures in the stock market jumped, and prediction markets also were like, whatever. But what you see here is that before his tweet went out, there were people who knew that tweet was coming and they manipulated each of those markets because they had insider information. This is as corrupt as it possibly gets. But this is what Trump is so good at doing. Before he even became president, so on the Friday night before he became president, they were having a major cryptocurrency conference. Okay. So the people who love cryptocurrency, they were all excited. Donald Trump is president. We're going to be able to rule the world with crypto. He loves crypto. Yay, 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 yay. He and Elon are buddies. And with Elon and Trump, the sky's the limit when it comes to crypto. While they were having the conference, Trump coin was released. And the timing was absolutely on purpose because during the timing of the conference, they're obviously going to be able to use that momentum to get people in the room to get excited about, oh, it's now time for cryptocurrency. And the price shot up. And then people who were the early investors, people who were not at the conference, to be clear, they were able to sell immediately as the price went up. And this is actually, there's a term for it. It's called a rug pull. When somebody is able to make a ridiculous amount of money because they have information in advance and they sell out the people who come after. The Haktua girl is the most famous case of this. And she was arrested for it. And then when Trump became president, he pardoned her because in the Trump world, rug pulls are just, it's how we're going to make money. Nothing illegal with that. Come on. It's great. Let's all do a rug pull. One of the hypocrisies of the past couple of days is the fact that you can see in the election that was held on Tuesday, Trump has gone all out against vote by mail. All he talks about is vote by mail is bad. And we want to pass the SAVE Act to get rid of the vote by mail. Well, meanwhile, the Trump family for that election voted by mail. So again, do what I say, get rid of vote by mail. Don't do what I do. It's and Speaker Johnson came out and said, "Oh, well, Florida happens to be one of the states that does vote by mail right, so it's okay for Florida." Wow. Okay. So, and he specifically said that California is one he doesn't trust. California has a very good vote by mail. They have a very bad how they count the vote by mail, but that's a whole separate issue. Their system has great integrity. No issues of their vote by mail. Other states like Oregon is now nearly 100% vote by mail. The notion, but what's true about California and Oregon? They're both blue states. That's the difference. So again, watch what they do, not what they say. The ultimate hypocrisy is this one. So when Obama's team negotiated the JCPOA was the agreement with Iran that we wouldn't be in the mess we're in today. If Trump hadn't had the meltdown that he had in 2017 in pulling the United States out of JCPOA, we wouldn't be in the crisis we're in today. So anyhow, can't go back in time. Trump had that meltdown, pulled out just because if it's an Obama deal, it must be a bad deal, blah, 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 blah. And the criticism that Obama got when he did this. So you need some background on this. When Iran took the hostages back in 1980, President Carter froze all Iranian assets. Part of the Iranian assets that he froze was that under the Shah had paid $400 million to the United States to purchase some weapons from the United States government. After the Iranians took the hostages, there's no way, of course, we're going to deliver those weapons, and the $400 million was frozen. International Court of Law ruled that that money deserved to go back to Iran because it's Iranian money and The goods were not delivered, so therefore the U.S. should return that cash. The U.S. never returned the cash. So part of the agreement was that that $400 million, which over time became worth $1.7 billion, needed to be returned to Iran. So Fox News and the right wing just had a heyday with this. The pallets of cash. They loaded pallets of cash onto a 747 and took it over to Iran. And so this comic here is making fun of exactly that, the point that they're trying to make fun of. Meanwhile, just last week, President Trump, in trying to get the oil markets to not lose their shit, President Trump agreed to give Iran $14 billion by allowing their tankers to go through and service China and Southeast Asia. But, the right-wing media has no problem with Trump basically giving a gift to Iran almost 10 times the value of Obama doing it as part of an actual peace agreement. So if there's a moral through line with this, it is this quote from Mark Twain. It is easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. I have had a running anger issue with people who do the both sidesism. The people who are like, well, Nancy Pelosi, she invested in stocks, and so we need to create a law about stocks because of Nancy Pelosi. Did Nancy Pelosi invest in some stocks that are very questionably ethical? How she did it? Oh yeah, absolutely. But what Nancy Pelosi did was the equivalent of somebody going in and stealing a piece of gum from a store versus the Trumps going in and robbing a bank at gunpoint. Both are robberies, but Fox News will be like, "Oh, it's the same." I mean, look, Nancy Pelosi's a robber, and so therefore we can't get upset about Trump being a robber. They're both robbers. And I have friends of mine on the left, or friend actually I don't even know if he's on the left anymore. My friend Robbie is doing this both sides of stuff all over the place. And I'm like, no, this is false equivalency. I just my mind explodes when I'm seeing this all over the place. And so many people in the media feel the need to play into it. No, you don't have to play into it. What is the level of corruption and graft going on within the Trump administration has no equivalent in the history of the United States. Period. We've entered a whole new era. On that note, where I'm ending this is a reminder that on Saturday is the No Kings Rally. I hope anybody who's watching this in the United States is able to attend, and I hope that you bring people with you. I look forward to seeing videos. Hopefully it's the biggest No Kings rally in the history of the world. I hope this passes their previous ones. It'll show momentum for our side. So I hope they do. And in a couple of hours, I hope the Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball team. I see. The thing is I actually like the Nebraska team. So the team they're playing is a team I actually kind of like, and I like their head coach Fred Hoiberg when he played for Iowa State. Yeah, he was. Anyhow, I respect their coach. But yeah, go Hawks. See you tomorrow.